We will proceed with the consumer behavior. So our first topic would be utility. So in accounting, we know utility is something like your lightings. What else? Your water. So we call them utility expense. And if you are in government, so we have the so-called utility worker. However, here in economics, we have a different definition for the word utility. So what do we by utility in economics is simply the measure of satisfaction. So it is the level of satisfaction. When you do something, when you consume something, it gives you a certain level of satisfaction. That's what we call utility in economics. And utility is expressed in utils. So what is util? An artificial construct used to measure utility. Kung sa imong weight, it is expressed in kilogram. Sa imong height, pag measure ana, it is expressed in meters or in inches. So pag mukaon ka, it is expressed in utils. However, it is just an artificial construct, meaning it is a fictional unit. Gama-gama lang nimo. Ikaw rin magbuod. If you eat, say for example, burger, then you say to yourself, oh, I get 50 utils for that. Then ikaw, kag spaghetti, ningot ka, 100 utils na siya. So it's all up to you. And then we have the concept of total utility. It is the total satisfaction a person receives from consuming a particular quantity of a good. So for example, you are you're craving for an ice cream. Then nakakita kang ice cream store. Then you rush into that store and then you bought a scoop of an ice cream. E dili pa ka satisfied, kaya nihatag na siya mga 100 utils nimo. So nipalit ka na ng scoop. Take na po ka, kaon na po ka. And then, i-add na ang imuhang level of satisfaction from consuming 1 scoop to 2 scoops of ice cream. And then, kung ganahan pa siya mong kaon, you add another one, another one, another one. Kung i-add mo tanan, that's your total utility. The total satisfaction that you receive out of consuming ice cream. Whereas the concept of marginal utility, it is actually the additional utility a person receives from consuming an additional unit of a particular good. Going back to our ice cream example, so from 1 scoop, for the total utility, you add the utility that you derive from consuming 1 scoop and then another scoop. So that's your total utility. Whereas the marginal utility is you just simply focus on the additional from 1 to 2. Okay, from the first scoop to the second scoop, how much or what is the utility being added? Let's have an example here. So let's say good X is the ice cream, the scoop of ice cream. So let's say 10 for the first scoop, and then 19, 27, and then 34, 40. So this is just, again, a fictional, an artificial construct that you attach to a certain good, okay, out of consuming it. So scoop of ice cream from 0, so you don't have your utility, okay? Now that you consume 1 scoop, according to you, that's 10 utils. When you consume the second scoop of ice cream, nahin mo siyang 19. Then third, 27, 4th, 34th, 5th, 40. Ikaw rin magbuot, ani. So if we are going to solve now the marginal utility, pilay na tukang nga utility every time you add the quantity of ice cream consumed. So how do you solve the marginal utility? So it is simply the change in TU over the change in Q. So delta TU, total utility, and the change in Q. Here, this is Q. So that is TU2 minus TU1 over Q2 minus Q1. Okay? So let's solve. This is wala. So from 0 to 1 scoop or to your first scoop of ice cream, we found out that there is 10 total utility. So what's the marginal utility? How do you solve it? Okay? Change in TU. So the new total utility is 10 minus the previous one, which is 0. So that is 10 divided by Q2 minus Q1. What is the new Q? 1 minus 0, so that is 1. 10 divided by 1 is 10. Did you get it? Alright. Now, moving on to the second scoop. So 19 minus 10 is 9. 2 minus 1 is 1. 9 divided by 1 is 9. Follow? And here, 27 minus 19, that is 8. 3 minus 2, that is 1. 8 divided by 1, that is 8. This one, it's 34 minus 27, that's 7. 4 minus 3 is 1. 7 divided by 1, that is 7. And then 5. And then 40 minus 34, that is 6. 5 minus 4 is 1. 6 divided by 1 is 6. Okay? Now you can just simply subtract the new total utility by the previous total utility if the difference of the quantity of goods is 1. However, if, for example, during the exam, it's not 1, I'll put here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You have to follow this one religiously so that you will arrive at the correct answer. Get it? Get it. Now, what have you observed with the total utility? The total utility decreases as you consume more. So this is what we call the law of diminishing marginal utility. Marginal utility. So what does it state? It states that your marginal utility decreases as you consume more quantity of that certain good. Kaya nga naman, malato man ka. For example, sa ice cream, first scoop, okay pa. Second scoop, third scoop, fourth scoop, so on and so forth. Mga natin nakaganahan. So your marginal utility decreases. So once your total utility reaches its peak, it starts to decline, whereas the marginal utility, it is decreasing. So that's what we call the law of diminishing marginal utility.